Hey guys, continuing Iamblichus' Exhortation to Philosophy, chapter 19. This is an interesting chapter because Iamblichus talks about ancestors. Before that, he didn't really talk much about ancestors in this text, as far as I remember. Here Iamblichus says that our job should be to surpass our ancestors in their glory and in what they have brought into the world, in terms of the good things that they have brought. Whatever they have given us, whether it's honor, wealth, or reputation, our job is to surpass it. To surpass that, we need to at least get to their level and then take it further. So he says, and the way he describes this process, he splits it into two processes. He says, essentially, one person will do that. They will surpass their ancestors. So if the ancestors left wealth to this person will make wealth bigger. If they left honor, the person will develop that honor for their family and so forth. If they left reputation, the person will improve the reputation even more. And the result of that will be glory and self-respect for the person. The person will feel self-respect and so forth. I'm kind of now patching different parts of a paragraph here. So if you read it, you may need to read it several times to see why I patched it like this. Okay, but he says to do this, order must be present. This person introduces order into their life to be able to take what they have been given and to make it great, even greater. Order is necessary. This is a key thing, I think. This is what must be highlighted. And we remember, order is impossible without self-control. This person must be self-controlled then, or they at least must develop self-control in order to take what their ancestors have left and at least develop as much good with it and even surpass it. The opposite will happen. If the person does not introduce order, if they're not self-controlled, they will squander what their ancestors have left. And this is what will happen. It will bring infamy to the person. And we know what will happen with self-respect. Self-respect will go down. The person will start to hate themselves. This is my addition. But Iamblichus did say infamy would result if the person squanders, if they leave less than what they have received. And this is a very powerful chapter, I think. And even though Iamblichus doesn't explicitly make it so, I think what is very important to mention in this part is personal qualities, virtues that the ancestors have passed on to us, or at least that the ancestors have had. Strengths of character, whether they were courageous or they were just and so forth. I think it is important for us to aspire to at least get on that level with our ancestors, whatever the virtues they show. Even though Iamblichus does not explicitly say that in this part. Because often our ancestors may not leave us any, maybe in those days it was normal to leave honor and wealth. But in the modern day, if I think of my ancestors, there was no wealth and no kind of reputation or anything. If I think of my mother's parents, for example. But there were certain qualities, certain virtues, like incredible kindness that they have lived their life with. So if we just think in terms of these things, social honor, wealth, we may miss out a very huge part, which is very important, which is psychological virtues. Kindness, care, humility, humbleness, helpfulness, courageousness, justice, and so forth, and all the traditional virtues in Platonism. So I think it is very important for us not to shame our ancestors if we follow this chapter on those qualities, but to continue that energy forward and keep developing those qualities. I don't know how ancestral energetics works and all that stuff. If there is such a thing, like those channels are created, like a kindness channel that flows through our ancestors and into us. And I can see, I mean, purely psychologically and in terms of genes and so forth, we can kind of make an assumption that there is something like that going on. That there is a psychological kind of hereditary thing that passes on. Then our job is to continue it and build up on it. And that will bring us happiness, self-respect, and so forth. Yep. Of course, some ancestors leave us a lot of disorder, vices, and so forth. And then our job, I guess, is to overcome those. And that can also be difficult. That's it for this chapter. Again, self-control. I think what I see as crucial here is self-control. Without this, whatever wealth you are left, you will squander on, you'll just buy things with it and squander it. And so on. And the same applies to any other thing that you're left with. So again, we see self-control as being the core of a philosopher and his life. Thank you for your time, guys. Let's do a quick meditation. Any meditation you want to do. You can just relax or like recite a prayer. And after that, we finish this video. Okay, thank you guys for your time. Hopefully a video will appear now. You can click on it to keep watching this channel.